Hello and welcome to the S47 ISFL Draft. I am your host and the one running the PowerPoint, CC. I'm the former Chicago GM, so I will be reading for them, and I'm also reading for San Jose. And with me are five okay-ish people.
Hi, my name is Gadget. I am GM of Berlin and known bad town of Salem player.
Good evening, everybody. I am Lord Cool Cats, aka LCC, aka Resident Bad Boy of the ISFL. I'll be reading for Cape Town and Honolulu.
Hello, everybody. I am Mooty99, the Austin GM, and I'll be reading, as well as for Austin, for New York and for Yellowknife.
Hey everybody, I'm T Money 6996. I am one of the GMs for New Orleans. I'll be reading for them, and then I'll also be reading for Arizona and Colorado.
What's up, everybody? This is Uptown Cord, one of Orange County's GMs. I'll also be reading for Sarasota, and I have COVID right now, so I'm sorry if my voice is rough.
It's okay, I'm sure everyone will forgive you.
We don't.
All right, well, without further ado, let's get this started. Honolulu is up first.
With the very first pick in the Season 47 ISFL Draft, the Honolulu Hahalua select user Brad Wolf, player Brad Wolf, a wide receiver from Portland. Here's what Honolulu had to say about this pick. This was such an exciting class to scout and made our decision here at the top that much harder. With many holes to fill, we went into this draft looking at the users and wanted to create a good atmosphere with the best players available. Brad was someone that we were excited about very early on and just hit that Han vibe perfectly. Brad will look to be our long-term answer to wide receiver and a leader in the locker room as we start to rebuild for the future. A dog in a Hawaiian shirt. He literally got that dog in him. What more can you ask for as a face of the franchise style pick?
Beautiful. Great pick here, I'm sure. Let's see if Honolulu has another great pick up their sleeve.
It's me again. With the second pick in the ISFL draft, Honolulu selects Roquefort, player Roquefort Coatswold, cornerback from Norfolk. The mouse is going to the islands. We are excited to bring another great user to Han. Roque is someone that really impressed us in scouting and will fit in perfectly with our goals and team building going forward. We look for Roque to become a staple in the secondary as we continue to rebuild. We hope this mouse/dog combo is something that slingshots us back to contention.
Nice. I like this render. Funny placement on the hat for the logo. Okay. Let's get on to the third pick.
With the third overall pick, Berlin Fire Salamanders select Walter. Walter again said, "We've been waiting for Han to make their pick, long as we can remember, always blaming us. We wish Hud's gonna make that stupid draft pick, but they won't respond to our DMs, no matter how hard
I'm gonna
we
go
try.
for the whole song.
See a message in the channel, it tells me, no way, let's go. Did ice just throw? Pick in the chat and the pink in the next team to draft. Walter, let's go.
Am I gonna need to mute him?
Come home.
I think so.
I mean, I'm kind of into it at this point.
I think that deserves some sort of round of applause from Rookie Chat, certainly.
Or something.
Anyways,
I don't
welcome
know.
home, Walter.
I'm a big fan of Walter because I'm a Chiefs fan, and during the playoffs, when everyone in Football Talk and Rant was just saying that the NFL was rigged, he would message me laughing at them with me. So, big fan of Walter as the pick here. Okay, next up is Colorado.
And with the 4th overall pick in the draft, the Colorado Yeti select Tim Riggins, user Shadood. With Hogmolly's days numbered, Rain heading deeper into regression, and Treasure beginning to age, we knew we needed to add top-tier talent at the wide receiver position. Shadood and Riggins were at the top of our list of people we thought would be a great fit in Colorado and became the heir apparent to the Yeety passing attack. With rave reviews from Tree, Tim, and everyone involved with Kansas City, we're ecstatic to be able to add a user of Shaw's caliber to Colorado.
Well, that just kind of felt like a disappointment after the whole song we got on the last pick.
I know. I feel like I was set up for.
Well, no, it was only verses 1 and 3 because I wanted to get a move on, but I did have the whole song written out.
You were going to keep going? Oh my god. I think I would have muted you eventually, but I don't know when exactly. So next up, we have the Silverbacks.
With the 5th overall pick, the New York Silverbacks select Standard Dan, Dominic Reynolds, offensive line. This is what they had to say about this pick. The duck to monkey pipeline has been the New York standard when it comes to finding terrific new users. And the user Standard Dan more than met the standard. You're going to notice this word standard comes up a lot. By the most standard definitions, constituting or conforming to a standard, especially as established by law or custom, Standard Dan met and exceeded New York's standard for everything we want in what we wanted in for a bona fide first round pick. Over to you, the CC.
Beautiful, nice.
I need another standard somewhere.
You have one or two more, and I think it would have got there. Next is LCC's Cape Town.
With the number 6 pick in the ISFL draft, the Cape Town Crash select user OKNAM player Dunkler Sourwine, the defensive end from Minnesota. I was a little baffled here, to be honest. We didn't think we were going to be able to pick up OKNAM. By our scouting, they were the number 1 pick in the draft, and we were baffled to see them actually fall to number 6. The scouting conversations went well. Their earning is top of the class. We are ecstatic to have them on board, and clearly all the other teams that went before us are dumb for not picking them. We're excited to welcome Dunkler to the herd. We think they'll be a huge addition to our team, and Ice Bear can suck it now that I'm not reading for Honolulu. That is all.
I second this motion.
I just want to point out, Buford, joke's on you. I didn't have streamer mode turned off this time, so your 20 messages made no noise. Okay, anyway. Enough with these bad teams. Let's get to the real show, the Butchers. At pick 7, Chicago will be taking wide receiver JJ Watt, user JJ5 from Norfolk. What? With one of our main receivers retiring last season, and some of the others getting long in the tooth, rearming with one of the best new users in this draft was a no-brainer. Media writer, new DSFL GM, and all-around great guy. We expect to have other teams questioning why they let him fall this far with his explosive plays in the Windy City. And next is San Jose, which I'm also reading for. And they will take cornerback Moody Poop Eater.
It's a brilliant first name, terrible second name.
Russ said, I assume Russ wrote these. I'm almost positive he did. He said, Madden is the perfect teammate. He's a great person to be around and has the cutest cat on the planet. Tonks is cute in their own way, too. Not sure who Tonks is, but Madden's been around the league so long that you've likely had a run-in with him at some point, but if you haven't, I highly recommend it. He's our favorite, and we're blessed to have him back in the green and gold. And with the next pick, it's me again. San Jose selects offensive lineman Swantavius Stacks, user Swanty. Russ said, I've wanted to have Swanty on my team for ages, and we were finally put in a position where we could make it happen. He's the former commissioner of the league, two-time commissioner actually, and has helped with countless improvements to the league that we all love. Based on our scouting conversation, he may be a little surprised by this selection, but we're prepared to help him make his run at the pancake record right here in San Jose. Decent pick, I guess. Former commissioner might be safe. I don't know.
Yeah, just one of the greatest users of all time. No
Maybe
big deal.
something like
Maybe.
that. Yeah. All right. Next up
All right.
is Oko.
With the 10th overall pick, the Orange County Otters select user Fangorn, running back Reginald Hammerfall out of Dallas. We are thrilled with this pick. We were just hoping he would be here at 10. We thought he'd be somewhere around here, but we were a little scared he would go earlier. But we are just very happy to have the double Reginald backfield now. I don't know what will be able to beat that. And we have both of his Dallas GMs in our war room, so it was a no-brainer, really.
Nice. I like how you asked us what order we read the username and the player name in, and you just said no. Went the other way.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, that was
He knows everyone else.
You guys all sound the same to me, even Moody.
No, it was
Thank you.
totally Cord. It was definitely Cord that asked that.
It definitely wasn't T-Money.
Okay.
Definitely was not T-Money.
You know.
Gotcha.
Right.
Definitely Cord. Anyway, Moody, I believe you're up.
It is. With the 11th overall pick, the Austin Copperheads select two socks. Soul King Brooks, running back out of Minnesota. Now, I don't really have anything prepared for this written down, but originally I was going to just start slagging two socks off because that's just a lot of fun. But, I mean, when we got to this pick, we couldn't leave someone who had been in the Austin War Room and just given so much to the team in the past with his previous player. He's a brilliant user, and we just had to grab him here. So I'm sorry. I would have gone offensive, but instead I went mushy. Apologies, two socks. I'll insult you to your face next time. Thank you.
Okay. Next is Baltimore.
The 12th overall pick, Baltimore selects Baron 1819, Maria Teresa de la Rosa. They had this to say about the pick. Our big needs at wide receiver and a quick path to wide receiver 1 ended up benefiting us, allowing us to get Baron at a spot she had no business being available. Everyone knows about Baron's max earning, insane media, and what she adds to the league, but we're just as excited to add her to our locker room. Her passion for the league and what she stands for as a user are traits we're looking to build our team around as we begin to retool. Here's to a Hall of Fame worthy career and lots of fun along the way. Welcome to Baltimore, Baron.
Yeah, Baron's a great user. Love seeing Baron's media. Next. Sorry, what?
With the
Oh, go ahead.
13th overall pick, I'm just doing it. Just let me go.
Oh, yeah.
With the 13th overall pick, the Yellowknife Wraith select Lane Wilson. Dusty Wilson 22. This is what they had to say about this pick. Like we would ever pass on Dusty, our personal game day play-by-play announcer was always going to be a Wraith again, even if we had to burn the entire league down to do it. Dusty is a great user and is a proven stud player. And we are thrilled to bring him back to Yellowknife.
Nice. I like the voice change you did there.
Sort of go up as it
Yep.
comes along.
Yep. Okay. Next we have the Outlaws.
And with the 14th pick in the draft and the last pick of the first round and one of the least surprising picks of the entire draft, Arizona selects user Bronx Bombers player Sewage Joe Fantringham. We love Bronx, and it's no secret. Personally, I hate the Yanks, but I love me some Bronx Bombers and can't wait to welcome them back to our team. We're looking forward to having Sewage Joe anchor our line for the future.
Sewage Joe. Love the name. Next, we have the Hahalua again.
I apologize because these notes are in all caps, so bear with me. With the 15th pick in the ISFL Draft. Honolulu selects user, the NC206 player, Ranch Pizza Man, the defensive end from Norfolk. Ranch, ranch, ranch. Insert ranch pizza gif here. We are so excited to see NC available here. Leading into this season, Ranch was a name we had on our short list for possible round 1 picks. With both me and Huds having a history with NC, this was an easy pick for us and a fit or a position of need. I look forward to many Ranch pizza gifs over his career and absolutely no everyone pings. NC fits in great with the Han locker room and has already proven to be a great user. Can't wait to see him in that blue and yellow.
Very nice. Next is New Orleans.
With the 16th pick in the draft and NOLA finally making a pick, they select McDropson, user Drip for the offensive line. Myself and the rest of NOLA were over the moon to see that Drip had made their way to us here with this pick. I think we all knew from the moment that we reached out to them for initial scouting and the whole conversation that we had that we wanted this user and their player on our team badly. They'll help anchor the line with the likes of Verway, Biggie, and Valaris, and we're ecstatic to get Drip added to this team. Welcome to NOLA.
Welcome to NOLA indeed. Next we have Berlin.
The 17th overall pick, Berlin selects.
No songs on this one.
No songs on this
Okay.
one. Jada 123876, Jonathan Irons. The second of the rookies Berlin has drafted to host a game day this season, Jada's already established herself as the biggest Civilization 5 addict in the league, even surpassing Yellowknife GM Tubades, who recruited her. Even though wide receiver is in a position of immediate need, you simply cannot pass up a DSFL GM when they fall to you.
Still playing Civ 5 instead of Civ 6.
Well, Civ 5 is the better game, so that's why.
Is it? I haven't played either one that much, so I guess I wouldn't know the difference in quality. Speaking of quality, let's see if the Yeti get someone of good quality this pick.
With the 18th pick in the draft, the Colorado Yeti select Skibby Yat Ohio Rizzler,
Love it.
user Cloud. I think I said that right. I'm actually pretty happy with that. It took me a few tries. Remember when a head of lettuce outlasted the British Prime Minister? Unfortunately, not all vegetables are as resilient as lettuce, and eventually people will transition to the great garden in the sky. Cloud is an outstanding user who is a positive influence across the league, who also happens to be a great option to become quarterback 1 of the future for Colorado. We're hyped to add Cloud to the locker room and bring a burst of energy to the team, even if it means Tree and Stag are going to have to learn what a skibbity toilet is.
I know what a skibbity toilet is.
I had to look it up after having a scouting conversation with Cloud.
Yeah, I have a vague idea of it, but I don't have the desire to look any more into it. So
No, very sensible.
Next is New York.
With the 19th overall pick, the New York Silverbacks select P. Money Speedhawk, linebacker from Bondi Beach Buccaneers. Here's what they had to say. Am I the only one in this sim league who's actually played organized tackle football before? Like half of the comments I've seen on Discord are so obviously written by non-athletes, and it's almost humorous. When I started in high school, a 3-year starter for our varsity football team, I would get a full-on sprint going and the clock and shit outer whoever had the ball. My coach called me Speedhawk as a nickname because I had such a nose for the football, and for those 3 seasons I was considered the most feared safety in our conference. Senior year, I led my team to the state semi-finals, only to get screwed over by the sim in the 4th. But that's another conversation. DM me if you've ever heard it. DM me if you're interested in hearing about it. So yeah, I hope you all can understand why I feel like there's such a big disconnect between myself and the typical ISFL user. Please tell me I'm not the only one who feels this way. Lol.
Whenever I read the player name, I was like, is that the one from the copy pasta? And then 3 words into your note, I was like, yes, it is.
That was enjoyable to read.
Okay, I love that. Now we've got Cape Town on the clock.
With the 20th pick in the ISFL draft, the Cape Town Crash select user Connor M123, player DeGlester Hardunkachud, the linebacker from Kansas City. For those of you who don't know, DeGlester Hardunkachud is a player from the Key and Peele football skit, but more importantly, he plays for the Rhinos football team. For that reason alone, we're legally obligated to use our pick here on Connor. Not because they're an awesome veteran of the league, not because they're a solid earner with a nice bank, not because of their positive locker room presence. No, it's purely to keep that skit as accurate as possible. Welcome to the team, Connor.
Connor is one of the few people who has created as a Key and Peele character and not gone IA within 2 seasons. So has to be a pretty good user if that's the case. Anyway, enough with all these bad teams. We're back to the good stuff. And at pick 21, the Chicago Butchers will select. Oh no. Oh god, no. Quarterback Russell Jimmies. User so evil. Painted said, well, my Jimmies are certainly rustled. We tried our best to get rid of him, but unfortunately the flightless bird is dying, and evil recreating at QB is exactly what we need to keep us competitive since we all know the bird can't. He went on to say some nice things, but I think I'm going to pass over all that. No, I'm joking. He said, in all seriousness, we definitely didn't want to pass up on Evil, as he's a great contributor to our team and War Room. And even if his takes are trash and his disdain for returning carts is, well, evil. Plus, he got that frog in him. Welcome back to Chicago, Dahmer remote. Unfortunately, he recreated at the perfect time for us to be forced to take him. So welcome back to the team, I guess. Sarasota is on the clock.
All right, with the 22nd overall pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select user Murr, taller retriever, linebacker out of Dallas. They said, this is our second time scouting Hannah, and this time we decided that we couldn't afford to let them pass in the draft. Hannah is a joy to talk with and will be a fantastic addition to the Sarasota Sailfish.
Love the render. Next we have Gadget's Hot Lizzies.
Oh, I do pick again. And instead of normal notes, for pick 23, we chose Agorka Maurice Mo Money Gunna, and I present a poem, a memoir on Maurice. Mo Money, no more problems on our D line. A scout for London, he's already at Chatter. The sacks he will get, just sublime. Did well versus Tidge, no rivalry with Patter. We're glad to bring him into Berlin. With him on the team, we are destined to win.
At least it wasn't a song. Looks like the Hawks are on the clock. Who's reading for the Hawks?
Oh, wait, I'm up again? I'm switching notes here. They got so many picks. Oh, it's because they marked it down as pick 25 instead of 24.
So
Gotcha.
Pick 24, the Baltimore Hawks select Seymour. Bean
Nope, there's a
Shit.
trade.
My bad. I should have caught that.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
So ignore what you heard. Hopefully I don't get fined for this one too. LCC, you want to talk about this trade a little bit?
Yeah, Cape Town traded with Baltimore. We really wanted to capitalize with some high value users that were still remained in the draft. So we gave Baltimore our 48 round 1 and then swapped 48 round 2s in exchange for the pick that's happening right now.
It sounds like LCC is just finding out about this trade.
I just found out about this trade too.
Okay, so now Cape Town is on the clock, I believe.
Yeah. With the 24th newly acquired pick in the ISFL draft, the Cape Town Crash select user Blix900, player Luke Larac, the defensive end from Tijuana. This pick makes literally 0 sense. That's what Negs and I keep telling each other. We still don't understand how Blix was available. That's why we were able and happily willing to trade the entire farm in exchange for this pick. We think that Blix is an incredible user. We're very, very, very excited to add them to the team. That's how badly we wanted him. He's scouted amazing. He's a solid earner. He knows his way around a sim league, and we firmly believe that Luke Larac is going to be the next ISFL defensive MVP. Quote me on it.
Really?
I'm quoting you on it.
Okay. Bold words from LCC here. I bet you guys can't guess who's picked next. Baltimore's on the
I
clock.
hope it's not Baltimore. Because pick 25, Baltimore selects Seymour,
Whoa.
Bean Beanman the third. No one knew this was coming, and they had this to say about this. Beans, the magical linebacker. The more you draft, the more you win. The more you win, the happier you feel. Let's draft Beans with their second round pick.
don't know if
Seymour's
you're supposed to sing
reputation
that.
speaks for itself. A great user and a max earner who fills a big need at linebacker. Welcome to Baltimore, Beans. I also elected to sing it since I seem to be doing everything but reading out normal draft notes this stream.
They could have at least made it rhyme for you. I'll give you that.
I don't think we can stop him from singing at this point.
True. That's true. Well, I don't know. I do have the power. But anyway,
You don't have my notes, though.
I guess that's true. I think you're on the clock again. Well, not you. But
Okay, we want to make sure this
double
time.
check.
26. All right, so with the 26th pick, Baltimore selects Figgy, Lyle Robedier, linebacker, Minnesota.
I like the pronunciation.
We had teams trying to trade up for this pick, but in the end, we felt too strongly about Figgy to give it up. We had Figgy circled as a top target of ours, and we thought he was flying under the radar during the pre-draft process. He's a proven user in other sim leagues, and despite being a Buccaneers fan, he's someone we are happy to add to the team. Let's get Figgy with it. Na.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know you were done. Okay, the Wraiths are up next.
The Wraiths?
Yep.
Certainly. We have got, with the 27th overall pick, the Yellowknife Wraiths select Tony Scaletta, Starboy. This is what they had to say. We're not sure how Tony Scaletta slipped this far, but we sure aren't complaining. Starboy is a star user in the league, active in the locker room, in the war room, and consistently producing star players, which we're hoping Tony Scaletta will be for us. We simply couldn't turn down the opportunity to bring him into the fold.
This is a great pick. I love Starboy.
Yep. Great user.
Okay. Looks like the Outlaws are back on the clock.
And with the 28th picks, last pick in the second round, Arizona selects a trade.
All right. It looks like Arizona has shipped this pick to Colorado for pick 32, and next year's pick. I'm reading the bottom part. I don't know. You guys can read it.
Yeah.
Conditions on that one. And now
Trade.
Colorado is going to pick.
And with this pick and after the trade, Colorado selects Eric Beatty Jr., user Bectudo, a safety. A Yeti sighting in Germany. Becht was someone we considered a top user in the draft and considered it almost every pick up and down the board. When we had the opportunity to snag him here in the third round, we were ecstatic, bringing in a top user at a position of need. It helps he's a Commanders fan too. Tim and Steg have another person to commiserate with now.
Very cool. Next up, we have the Hahalua again. I feel like they've picked so many times already.
With the 29th pick in the ISFL Draft, Honolulu selects user Sensible Dictator player Tyler Higbee II, the tight end from Portland. Here's what Honolulu had to say about this pick. Higby, Woof, Roke, NC. I'm not sure whether to be excited or scared for what this locker room is going to look like. An absolutely S-tier user / yapper, an easy round 1 pick for the league at any other position, so we're lucky to be in a position of need at tight end. Excited to be able to have the Woof Higby combo on offense for seasons to come. Higby fits that Han lifestyle, and we are excited to have him. Welcome to paradise.
DSFL chat is going nuts right now. Love to
Everybody
see it.
was waiting for Higby
Yeah,
to
I
go.
saw some we want Higby messages earlier on. This is awesome. Love this. Okay.
It's great.
Next up, we have the second line.
With the 30th overall pick in the draft, the second line select Will Nuck, user Nuck. Talk about fates aligning. We had Nuck super high on our draft board, and we were waiting patiently. I mean, not really. We were pretty antsy about it to see if Nuck was going to be available for us to take. We had a great conversation with Nuck pre-draft, and we're really excited at the opportunity to add them to our running back room. We have high hopes for Nuck in the purple and teal, and we think our running back room is in great hands with Crane, Ford, and now Nuck.
Is Nuck the one that's the original, like one of the original GMs?
I believe
Yes.
so, yeah.
Nice. Love to see a old user come back and try it again. Hopefully he sticks around. And Sarasota is picking next.
Oh fuck. All right.
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yeah, with the 31st pick, they're selecting
With the 31st
A
pick, they select a trade.
Every time that happens, it means it's going to be a trade.
Yeah. I just figured I'd do it since you were nervous. Okay, so yeah, San Jose traded for this pick by giving up their round 2 and round 3 in next season's draft, and with their newly acquired shiny 31st overall pick, the Saber Kitties will select linebacker Huge Yak Man, user Wolfzilla, and they said Wolf is another user I've wanted to draft in multiple classes. I remember him coming into the league in Minnesota and really enjoying his energy and enthusiasm. We missed out on both of his last players, which was unfortunate. However, after his last career was cut short, he's back and motivated to make this one his best yet. And we're ready to add another great user to our young linebacking core. And next up, we have Arizona.
With the 32nd pick in the draft, the Arizona Outlaws select Gregors Winicki, user Aura. I was able to be a part of AMK's draft cabal alongside Aura and many others, and I can tell you that between that and Crony's glowing recommendation, I think that we managed to find someone who we hope will be our next top linebacker. With Akare retiring and Blue Jr. hitting heavy regression, we're optimistic that this game day host will be able to terrorize ASFC quarterbacks in seasons to come.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, good pick here. Let's see who New York takes.
With the 33rd pick, the New York Silverbacks select Elijah Dyson, user Pat, quarterback. While there were concerns about Pat's bank balance being enough to max earn as a quarterback, and despite warnings from his former Philadelphia co-GM Cody, we took the liberty of drafting him anyway. We're sure he'll be more than capable as the next great silverback quarterback when Elijah Dyson comes into town with a crash.
I hate the way you're reading this.
You are very welcome.
Is that it?
That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
I covered. I used the words Liberty, Philadelphia, Liberty, Cape Town,
Right.
crash.
Yeah. I tried my best to get Chicago to take Pat instead of Evil, but they just weren't listening to me. So great pick here. And next we have his former team, Cape Town.
Yeah, Cape Town had to pass on Pat because he's clearly a toxic asset to the league. So we didn't want to touch that.
Yep,
He also knows so little about the sim.
Yes.
With the 34th pick in the ISFL draft, the Cape Town Crash select Gauge 2 player Julian Rose, the wide receiver from Minnesota. I would like for everyone in attendance to humor me for just one moment, please. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Imagine the turf, the lights, the smell of stadium hot dogs and beer. What's that you hear on the speaker? Julian Rose, touchdown. Those are words you're going to be hearing over and over and over and over again over the next several seasons. Get used to it. That's right, folks. We just drafted the best damned wide receiver in the entire league. We're psyched to welcome Gage to Cape Town and can't wait to see how high Rose can fly.
You really painted a picture. I can hear it. Touchdown Julian Rose, and Cape Town cuts the deficit to 21. Okay, back again with Chicago. At pick 35, we will be selecting the Gridiron God, running back Brandon Johnson, user Roast Fuego, also known as Soup. And we said, overall, we thought the scouting combo went well, and that he would have fond memories of our Gridiron game nights he's joined in the past, but he didn't realize the scout was first Frey, our GM, so we grade this pick a D. In case nobody gets it, that's what similar to what he wrote about us in his scouting rankings. So next we have Honolulu.
Are you sure?
It says it on the thing.
Say it.
Okay, with the 36th pick, Honolulu selects a trade. They're trading up, Baltimore is trading up to this pick by sending their 40th pick and one of their seconds next year. And they also get pick 43. So now Baltimore's on the clock.
With pick 63, Baltimore selects Agent Chaos, Seti Spaghetti, linebacker from Portland. Agent Chaos is Swanky's significant other. She might also have the most fitting username in the entire league, as she's always bringing a chaotic and fun energy wherever she goes. When Agent Chaos is typing appears in the chat log, you never know what's going to come out next. She won the Ultimates with Baltimore in her last player, so we're happy to bring her back to show the other rookies the ropes and help lead us to more future championships.
Very nice. It took me a while to find the logo on this render, but there it is. Next up, we have the Sailfish.
All right, with the 37th overall pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select user I'm Satan Jr. Bugs QB out of Bondi Beach. The time is approaching where we will have to stuff and mount Old Man Willier on the wall next to our other trophy fish. So naturally, we look to a record-setting Sailfish user in ISJ to replace our man under center. We are excited for ISJ to continue their quest as an all-time Sailfish user.
Cool. Next up, we have Oko.
All right. With the 38th overall pick, the Orange County Otters select user Honored Mexican, Southwest linebacker out of Norfolk. We're just stoked to get a valuable user this late into the draft, especially one who's willing to switch to cornerback for us, which is where he'll be at. And it's a good pick because as soon as we put it in, his former Norfolk GM DM'd me saying we got great value here. So we're very excited.
It's 100% a true story.
Man, you are struggling through reading these. I feel bad.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, all right. You know who else struggles to read? Moody, and his team is up next.
With the 39th overall pick, the Austin Copperheads select Mod Pro, Dason Denholm, cornerback from Minnesota. Now, we were very surprised to see Mod Pro still on the board here, and despite the fact that we had trade offers on the table, we refused them all to go and get Mod Pro. He is an excellent new user, one of the new voices of game day, and we're just really excited to bring him in, and he's an absolute steal to pick up at the back end of the third round.
He just modded his first Town of Salem game too, so pretty hype.
Yeah,
So this is why you wouldn't trade me, jerk.
This is exactly why we wouldn't. We had trade offers here, and the thing that we had said to everybody was, unless the player we want is on the board, we'll trade, and the player we wanted was on the board, so there was no trade.
You'll love to see it, unless you're any of the other teams that wanted to trade. All right, next we have Honolulu again. When will they stop?
Here, they stop here.
Well, we'll see.
With the 40th pick in the ISFL draft, the Hahalua select Thunder Titan 82, player Rush Hardman, linebacker from Norfolk.
Gross.
Longtime friend of Ice Bear, this was an easy snag for Han. I've been lucky enough to work with TT, also known as Thunder Titan, on both League and in real-life projects, so to be able to bring him to Han is something I'm super excited about. TT was both a fit positionally and with our locker room vibes. Han is full of hard men, and we're excited to add another.
Love that. Did you say that Ice has friends earlier in the note? Oh wait, Ice
Well,
wrote that
that's how we-
himself, didn't he?
I would
That
never
makes
say that.
Yeah, Ice wrote
You
it.
know, absolutely hate to see an OCO legend go to Honolulu. This is tough.
Legend seems like a stretch, but sure.
Okay, well,
No, I love Thunder Titan. Next we have the Wraiths. Is that Moody?
He's probably asleep.
Apologies, I was too busy welcoming Mod Pro into the Austin locker room and got myself somewhat distracted.
Gotcha.
But that's all right. I can continue now. Let me get my notes up. With the 41st overall pick, the Yellowknife Wraiths select Bob Kronkowski, Papillinator from the tight end from the Tijuana Luchadors. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Yellowknife user uses the pick for Kronkowski. The pick chosen specifically to draft Kronkowski. Kronkowski is the pick. Obviously, we are super excited to bring in the next all-pro Yellowknife tight end. Papillinator has been a solid user in Tijuana, and we can't wait for him to Kronk spike all the touchdowns here in Yellowknife. Welcome to the Wraith.
Okay, next up we have Arizona.
With the 42nd pick in the draft and last pick of the third round, Arizona selects Puddles O'Duck, quarterback, user Z-Wiz. I'd like to make sure that we refer to Z-Wiz as Z-Wiz, Canadian-like. Puddles scouted badly, but we needed a quarterback, and he was there. All jokes aside, we're happy to bring back former GM Z-Wiz.
Arizona always seems to get their guys pretty late in the draft. Kind of impressive.
It is strange.
Yep. Moving on, Baltimore appears to be up
We're sure this time it's real.
I
Because
mean,
with the
you never know
43rd
until I
overall
click. So,
Baltimore selects
whew.
Edith Nickelback, the cornerback from Portland. Anyone who knows Kari knows what a phenomenal person she is. Building up our locker room was a big focus for us this draft, so when Kari was still available here, our decision was a no-brainer. We think we got a huge steal, and we're excited to get her onto the team.
Very nice. I don't know if I'm happy or sad that there were no Nickelback puns, but We'll just move on to the next pick, I guess. And the next pick belongs to the New Orleans second line.
With the 44th pick, New Orleans selects Matt Wilkins, linebacker, user Earthen. Talk about fates aligning a second time. Our war room was positive that Earthen and Matt Wilkins would be gone far before we had the chance to pick again. Again, not that we didn't try. Earthen provides a little more youth to the defensive side of the ball for us, and it was their excitement for the league and their wanting to be more and more involved that really sold us on them as a user. They provide us a ton of flexibility, and we're pumped to add such a wonderful person to the locker room.
I don't know why Infinite keeps joining and leaving, but we will just move on, I guess, to the Hot Lizzie's pick.
With pick 45, the Berlin Fire Salamanders select Male Sticky Hands McGee. And for this, I have written a poem. Sticky Hands McGee, an ode to thee. A rose by any other name may smell as sweet, but those other receivers aren't near as elite. A pass catcher with unmatched prowess like you. Dear GM, don't pick him. Allow us to draft two. Berlin's surprised you weren't picked in round 2.
Okay. Are you guys done picking yet in Berlin? I guess that's
3
a
more.
week if you tell me. So
At least
entrapment,
at
you
least
can't
10
be
more.
fine. Don't worry. Next we have Colorado.
With the 46th pick, Colorado selects Bunny. User Bunny. Getting the gang back together. Bunny has been a valuable part of the Yeti franchise for many seasons. Her last player held the kicker-punter spot for the team. An indispensable part of the locker room culture, this pick was a no-brainer in any round, but in this part of the draft, we're happy to call her a steal. Welcome back, Bunny.
Very nice. Next we have New York.
With the 47th overall pick of the draft, the New York Silverbacks select Starchy Chaff, Anthony Simmons III, defensive tackle from Minnesota. New York was looking to start building the future of our defensive line, but we couldn't get the pick in fast enough when we saw Silverback alumni Starchy Chaff fall into our laps at this pick. Duck to monkey pipeline aside, resident New York Silverback sports channel and mock draft enthusiast Starchy brings a great presence to the locker room with his activity, and we have big hopes for his player.
I remember scouting Starchy's first player. Very cool person. Could be a big steal here. Let's see if Honolulu gets a steal at pick 48, where they select a trade. So they are trading this pick and a pick 4 picks from now for a third and a wide receiver. So now Orange County's up.
Yep. With the 48th overall pick, the Orange County Otters select user Hollywood Truz, Hollywood Tez, wide receiver out of London. So Dwayne he's an IA player we have, and we decided we didn't need him. So we used him to get a younger receiver who we felt was an absolute sleeper value pick. One of his London GMs, AJ, is a valuable member of our war room, who we just got last season, and we felt that they would make a great duo together for the future, with our aging receivers going to need to be replaced in the not so distant future.
Nice. All right, next up we have the Butchers again. And at pick 49, they will select wide receiver D. Fernandez, user Fetty. When your that's the right one. When your fellow war room member in the NFL mock draft falls this late, it's hard to pass up on him. Fetty is an established sim leaguer currently GMing in the PBE, so we were happy to get a sim vet. Welcome to Chicago, and looking forward to discussing mock drafts with you. And now San Jose is up. And at pick 50, they trade. I don't know if you guys are as sick of trades as I am, but they're sending this pick to Austin for a pick a few picks from now and a third round next year and a tiny, tiny bit of cap space.
That is right. We were looking to trade up with a bunch of different teams before this. There was one player left on our board who we really wanted to go and get. And thanks to San Jose accepting this trade, we were able to get them. So, with the 50th pick, the Austin Copperheads select Ryan Joseph, Rydell 439, linebacker from the London Royals. Now, Austin have at least a good history of selecting linebackers who have actually played linebacker in college. And I had a brilliant conversation with Rydell, and he is exactly that. He is a former college player, former linebacker, and he was a late joiner, a late starter to earning, and he has been really building up his earning. And he's someone who I thought was an absolute steal at this pick. He is active, he's earning really well, and he's just gone completely under the radar, I think, for a lot of GMs. And so I had to move up in the draft to try and grab him here, and I'm really pleased that we're able to.
I have to ask, if you guys draft so many real players,
Well,
why didn't you take Speedhawk?
I mean, this is the second player we've actually had that was an actual college linebacker.
Oh, I see.
But I mean, that's more than other teams probably.
Yeah, I know. I only know of one other real college player who was drafted by San Jose and then went IA when pretty soon after they were drafted. But he was a cool dude. Anyway, the Sailfish are up next. I don't know who's rooting for the Sailfish.
Oh, it's me. With pick 51, the Sarasota Sailfish select user Hexify, Hex Waters II, tight end out of Minnesota. Our fish senses were tingling after a good chunk of teams in the ISFL were looking to take this pick off our hands. It didn't take any time to identify who everyone wanted because it was the same user we wanted. Hex is a fantastic locker room presence, and we weren't going to let this pick go.
Yeah, we were thinking about Hex at pick 49, but he burnt us on the last player we picked him on. So have fun in Sarasota, buddy. And it looks like you're up again, Cord.
All right. With the 52nd overall pick, the Orange County Otters select a trade.
Whoa.
We like money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot.
All right. So now Berlin has the pick.
So with pick 52, Berlin selects Warzy, Honoris Salvator, the $8 million safety. This trade makes him the single most expensive draft pick in terms of cap space from my brief digging ever. And there's a reason. The safety is our biggest need left unaddressed, and Honolulu's $40 million in free cap space looming over the league. We knew we needed to throw a bag at a user who scouted super well and was super enthusiastic about the league.
Very nice. It's not often you draft someone and make them the most expensive player of all time. But you guys sure managed it. All right. Now, with San Jose's new pick that they got from that trade a few picks ago, they will select defensive end Roman Alexander, user Crazy Key Young. Crazy Key, like Wolf, cut his last career short to focus on real life. Now he's back and rearing to go, and we're happy to add him to our aging defensive line. We had a great conversation, and he wants the league to know that he's been wildly underrated, and he's ready to show that he is the real deal. I guess all of us look stupid now, huh? Next up, we have my Butchers, and at pick 54, we select linebacker Jack Destroyer, user Sparrow86. When it came to our last pick, we were debating on grabbing Sparrow then. So when we were back up, when we were Painted needs to learn how to write, or whoever did this. So when we were back up and saw he was still available, we took our chance without any hesitation. We're hopeful that he can keep being active in the locker room and in the sim so that he can be a key contributor to our team in the future. Happy to have you in the Windy City. And next is Yellowknife. And they will trade. They're trading this pick for a round 3 in next year's draft. So now New Orleans is on the clock.
Yep. And with the 55th pick, after New Orleans finally pulled off a trade after trying all draft, they select Lloyd Bornstein, user Dr. Lloyd, cornerback. Finally, we pulled off a trade, and it couldn't be for a better user and someone we are incredibly excited to add to our secondary in the coming years. I was lucky enough to GM for Lloyd last year in Norfolk, and they were everything you'd want out of a new user if they were easy to work with and always willing to talk with us about what they want to do with their player and how involved they were going to be with us. Again, super excited. Welcome to New Orleans.
Congratulations. Next, we have the Hahalua. LCC.
Do you?
Well, no. What's happened here is he's managed to sneak off to the bike while we were doing our drafts.
Oh, I see.
I don't have any notes.
Okay, with pick 56, the Hahalua select linebacker Jonathan Bywater, user Canadian Goose. Let me just double check real quick. Let me check something. LCC, sing, fill for time.
So reflecting back on this draft already, I think
I found it.
Okay, yeah,
Sorry,
I was pretty
that's on me.
sure.
That's on me.
I was
That's
pretty
on
sure
me.
it was there.
Yeah, this is our golden goose. We sent our local Canadian in on the scouting, and he had nothing but great things to say here. A little bit of a slow start TPE-wise, but is wrapping up school and expects to pick up activity. Excited to see what we can get from the goose when school wraps up. Welcome to paradise. The trick was that I needed to scroll down.
Yeah, I was about to ask if that was all it was. Okay, they're up again.
With the 57th pick in the ISFL draft, Honolulu selects Mr. Goat 1246, player Gucci Gurley, the running back from Portland. Han put a lot of effort into this pick. We thought long and hard about who could elevate our chances the most, and we came to the conclusion that Mr. Goat is the person who can elevate us out of being a poverty franchise. Welcome aboard, Mr. Goat.
All right, next we have New Orleans.
I have to stop laughing. I wasn't expecting that. With the 58th pick, New Orleans select Kiwi Flapjack to user Kiki. Kiki and their player are currently IA, but we're pretty excited to be able to potentially fill another need here. Nonetheless, we're excited to add them to our team, and we hope you'll come back to the league and New Orleans and join us soon.
Nice. Next up is the Fire Salamanders.
With pick 59, the Fire Salamanders select Derek Becker. Friend of several great user in the league, Jay Reed. We're hoping that they might be able to spark interest and get Derek more involved in the league. We think they have great potential here.
We will see if that potential is realized, I guess. And next we have the Yeti.
With the 60th pick, the Colorado Yeti select Ham Hargreaves, kicker Ham Hargreaves. Ham is currently inactive, but we welcome their return with open arms.
Let's just all take a second to open our arms for Ham to come back.
My arms are open. I know you can't see it, but
Yep, mine too.
I'm in the Jesus pose.
Nice.
Like Creed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or like Nickelback.
With the 61st
You're just gonna
pick.
cut us off like that?
Oh my god, yes.
What a guy.
Anything to shut up Gadget is always worthwhile.
Go ahead.
With the 61st pick, the New York Silverbacks select Cousin Huey, DeMarcus Brothers, safety. I have been given no notes on this whatsoever, but I imagine if there were notes, they would go something like this. This person's currently inactive, but we'd love them to come back. That'd be brilliant. They'd really join the team, something like that. New York are great. The end.
65 TPE is more than 50.
Yep.
Certainly,
Bold statement
Gadget
there.
can math really, really well. People make note of that.
Okay, LCC, go ahead with your pick. Is this the last pick, by the way?
I believe it is.
This is the final pick. And with that final pick, number 62, the Cape Town Crash select user Winged Bard, player Traverian Bernardrick, the wide receiver from Bondi Beach. This was such an exciting class to scout and made our decision here at the bottom that much harder. With many holes to fill, we went into this draft looking at users who wanted to create a good atmosphere with the best players available. Wingbard was someone that we were excited about very late on, and they hit that CTC vibe perfectly. Bard will be looking to be a long-term answer at wide receiver for us and a leader in the locker room as we continue dominating this league. Welcome to the team.
And there it is. CTC got their guy. Is the pick 63 on the screen? That's just like a leftover thing, right?
No,
No? Is there
long
one?
snapper is pick 63.
Okay. Anyway, the draft is over. Congrats to everyone that was taken. I will.
Poor old San Jose being stuck on the clock now.
Yeah, for the next 2.5 months. Brutal. More like San Sloze.
Got him.
Anyway, I will be posting all of the draft SIGs on the forum, and I'll put the link to that in the announcements of one of the two main servers. If there's any issues with your draft cards, let me or Infinite know. Infinite MPG. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for helping me host this thing. I appreciate it.
I
Alright,
think
thank
Gadget should now sing us out.
Yeah, go ahead and redo your song from earlier, Gadget.
We'll wait.
I'll fade us out.
No.
Oh, no?
No, I've had, throughout the course of this draft, I have been having a few beers, and I do not feel comfortable in my singing anymore.
That's
Surely
weird.
that
Usually
happens the other way around.
Yeah, usually it helps me. Okay. We're going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys for joining. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good night.